I'm making a little video to show you how research is used in narrative writing. Some people say, why do I need to research? I'm making all of this stuff up. But there are some things I'm going to need to know in the process. Here is a comedy that I'm working on. It's a little romantic comedy, a little mild comedy, and I'm working on the beat sheet right now. So I have everything divided up by the days that things are happening, and I have it divided into a beat sheet, so it'll make it much easier to write when I get there. So these two sets of people, one is our protagonist and her two friends, and the other is the male protagonist and his two friends. And so they're all going to go glamping, which means that they are going to be setting up elaborate campsites. So I know nothing about camping, but I do know that I want this story to be darling. It's a Christmas story, so it's going to be covered in snow, and I want to make sure I know what I'm doing. So I have them setting up a glamping situation. So what do I know? Well, I go out and I research and I find different kinds of camping gear for those opportunities. So here's the inside of a little geopod. Doesn't that look like fun? That's where the girls are going to be staying in their little tent, which is not really a tent, it's like a geodome. So this is what the outside of that looks like. Where did I find that? I researched it. And when I researched it, I added the site where I found it onto my Works Cited so that I would show that research. Now the boys' side, James, Wallace, and Furman, are real campers, and they are high-tech. They love all that high-tech stuff. So this is their little campsite for glamping. How did I find that? I researched it. And I researched enough of the little gadgets that go on in that to be sure that I know what I'm doing. And when I researched that, I added that to my Works Cited. Now here's where the good old dictionary came in, and I like to teach you about the dictionary. So I'm looking at what's going to happen that's the crisis in this story. Well, the crisis is a snowstorm, and these people find themselves waking up in their respective campsites covered in snow. But I don't want a whole blizzard. That's a whole thing. A blizzard means all kinds of drama and trauma. I just need for there to be a whole bunch of snow there. So I go to look up what kind of snowstorms are possible. I know this makes people giggle all the time because, of course, I go to a vetted website, a very professional website. But I just want to find out what other kinds of snow, winter storms are possible. So I look at blizzards. That's out of the question. That's too much drama, too much trauma. An ice storm. Oh, that's a mess. I don't want an ice storm. These people are going to be covered in ice. It's going to be precarious. They're going to be deadly. This is a light-hearted romantic comedy. Then I see lake effect storms. No, but look at this one. A snow squall. A brief, intense snow shower accompanied by strong gusty winds. Well, we can tamper down the winds, but we're going to refer to this in the story as a snow squall. Not a blizzard, not an ice storm, not a lake effect storm, but a nice, lovely little deposit of snow. And now I have simplified my plot sequences in my beat sheet to include this brief snow depositing. And that is the fun that I had researching a little bit about snow. Enough so that I know what I'm talking about. Enough so that I can have the readers, in this case the producers, look at something that I'm writing and go, oh, well, okay, so we don't have to recreate a blizzard. We don't have to have an ice storm. We can just have a simple little deposit of snow. We can have a little flurry of winds. We can kind of play around with that because this is fiction. And of course, I'm going to add that National Weather Registry into my Works Cited. So this is just one little example of how to use research when writing a narrative essay.